welcome to Books in the City live podcast. This is Melissa Hill, who's visiting us from Ireland today for a lovely full day of events with her editor, Jo Dickinson.
Hello Melissa, thank you for coming over. Please could you tell us a little bit about A Gift to Remember?
Okay, well A Gift to Remember is about a girl called Darcy who adores books. She works in the most magnificent bookshop in New York City, and like I said, she adores books like most of us, and tends to live her life a little bit through the books that she loves, and possibly shies a little bit away from real life, which is never a good thing. One morning she's cycling through a very snowy New York City, and a little bit late for work, as often happens, and she breaks through a red light and crashes into a pedestrian out walking his dog. Now there's lots of drama, and the poor guy gets carted off in an ambulance. Again, not a great thing to happen in the middle of New York City. But his dog is left behind, so Darcy decides to take care of the dog because she feels desperately guilty at knocking over this poor guy. And as she does, she's gradually drawn into Aidan, is the name of the guy who's knocked down. She's gradually drawn into his life, and almost like the pages of a book, she wants to know more about him, and she's drawn more and more into it. And eventually she does start to deduce some things about him, and she begins to wonder if he is the guy that she's been waiting for. So lots of intrigue and lots of drama.
Sounds very romantic as well.
It can be.
What was the inspiration behind the story?
Oh, I'm a big believer in, that phrase where you can tell a lot about a person from their bookshelves.
Mm-hmm.
And there is one particular scene in the story where Darcy gets to examine Aidan's bookshelves, and because of this she starts to believe or perceive certain things about him that may or may not be true. And I think that's where the basis of the story came from, is that you can, or you think you can, tell a lot about a person from their bookshelves. And also, I guess, appearances sometimes can be deceptive too. That's another strong theme in the story.
And is the bookshop in the story based on a real story?
Oh, I wish it was.
You can't go and visit it.
I'm afraid not. No. I suppose it's a combination of all the bookstores that I've been throughout my life, and also your imagination of what the perfect bookstore would be. Somewhere with little cozy nooks where you can sit and just browse through books, where you can find quirky books that you don't normally find in other bookstores, and just a nice place to spend time, which I think is what book lovers in general do tend to love, with lots of very happy and helpful staff, cheery staff. Always a good thing, and of course based in New York City, so what's not to love?
Exactly. So how many times have you been to New York City, and why do you think it's such a magical place?
Oh my goodness. I first visited back in actually 2000 with my husband, and it was the middle of winter, Christmas time, and it was absolutely freezing. And lots of snow, and there was something about snow in Central Park, and also this idea of knowing New York almost so well from movies. You kind of almost feel like you know it even before you get into the centre, and it was this kind of sense of familiarity, of feeling that you belonged even though you'd never been there before, and that's quite magical in itself.
Yes, absolutely.
So I think I was really, really taken by it from then on in, and then I fell in love, and then after a while, I just didn't go we went travelling elsewhere, and then we thought, right, we have to go back again. And I was interested to see on a second visit if the same sense of magic would be there, and I felt it even more the second time. And since then, I really couldn't say how many times. Too many times, I think. But then there's no such thing as too much time in New York. It's fabulous. And you do, as for a writer as well, you tend to, on every corner there is the possibility of a story. So many quirky characters, so many things. Life is just happening there in this small little space, a little island in the middle of America, or the corner of America. And I just find it incredibly inspirational, and I love it. I love spending time there. And my daughter does now. We've converted her, so she's only 4, and she just loves it. So yeah, I think it's a family affair.
That's good. And has there been a research trip for the book that you're writing now?
Yes, there has. And this again is, I suppose, is another love story to New York, because this one is based around New York and romantic movies. And it's based around a couple who have, I think the romance has kind of gone out of their marriage, or gone out of their relationship, as it does often when you've been together for some time. And this particular character, Beth, she adores movies, romantic movies, loves New York movies. The reason she is in New York is because of the movies. So possibly a little bit autobiographical from that point of view. But one day she is at work and a delivery arrives for her coffee cup along with quite a cryptic message, and she discovers that somebody is setting her off on a treasure hunt, and the clues are based around great movies set in Manhattan. She doesn't know where the hunt is going to lead her, but it'll be somewhere interesting.
Fabulous. Can't wait to read it. Thank you so much,
Thank
Melissa.
you.
And A Gift to Remember is available in all good bookshops now.
Yay!